All right, now, I was gonna do a podcast segment, and I know people wanted me to do this on the, the NOLA terrorist attacks and all that stuff, but we all know about all that stuff already. We all know that all of the people involved in that, because they're from the same military base, it's just some deep state fucking fuck up, botched CIA cutouts with them just being sheep dipped in other organizations, and we all know of that. Everybody listening to this already knows that, believes that unequivocally without any evidence, and we don't need to go into debate about this. Instead, seeing as how I wanted to do something on current events, we're gonna talk about Los Angeles, the fires, okay? And I do want to state, because I have had customers there. I have had people there that I've met and everything. Okay, and that is that if your shit is destroyed or something and you're displaced, I'm very, very sorry. My heart goes out to you, and I am very, very sorry for that. Okay, and we could go and talk about how this is just your typical failed liberal disaster. Okay, like the mayor of Los Angeles, Comrade Karen Bass, who was on her, who they had to pull back from Ghana because she just went to Ghana to go attend something requested by the Biden administration, because I guess we don't have an ambassador there or something to go do this. Couldn't just get somebody to go to Africa and go and do all of that. So instead they have to send the mayor of Los Angeles. You have to go to Ghana. Okay. Okay. She was the original vice presidential candidate, by the way. Everybody already forgot that. Okay, and then she was exposed to be a communist or something. Okay, we could have had her go out and unequivocally just lose the 2024 presidential election. We could have had her do that. Okay, rather than Kamala Harris. But anyway, Mayor LA, California's stuff, by the way, is just, you can't even run as a Republican there. You have to be a Democrat, you have to do all the stuff, get voted in, and then just change your positions. Or you get token Republicans like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who just globalist. Okay. California is a strange place. I've never been there. I will never go. I want to go there, but I'll never go there. Because I've met a lot of people from there that are, I met some people from there that are douchebags, and I've, like everywhere else, just a lot of great people in California. A lot of people listening to this that probably live in California or have been there. And I don't, but California is somewhere that people who live outside of California don't necessarily have a proper understanding, because it is in the United States. It is culturally different, and I mean, there is a movement to secede California from the United States, and there is talk, that the actual state will just break off and become an island someday. Okay? But, with that being said, again, I feel very bad for the people that are affected by this, but, and now that's out of the way, my honest opinion of the fire there is, burn, Babylon, burn! Okay, I mean, burning Hollywood sign. Okay, I mean, you get this. I don't even know if this is real, but this is what they have empty fire hydrants there, and it's a complete disaster. I mean, you see the fire in the background. I don't know what this is. Somebody just had this on Facebook, so it's true. It's real. Because I guess they got rid of the fact checkers now because Mark Zuckerberg wants to try to just get along with the new administration and play politics so it doesn't get regulated into oblivion. Okay. Because it's what he does. Anyway, Wrath of God. All right. Anyway, this is Babylon, the burn, Babylon burn, and this is the wrath of God. And because I guess Christianity is just openly tolerated in black metal now, I went and I got my Bible, because I actually have a Bible. I've actually read the Bible. Okay, Satan appears in it minimally. Okay. See, but anyway. And I have the English Standard Version. I don't have the King James variation because there's arguments over, which translation is propagated out by the Masons to create false Christianity and then all of that. But the Bible itself is an allegory. Okay? For other religious things. And it is perfectly okay, and people should be spiritual. There's even sects of Satanism that can be spiritual. The problem everyone has, or should have, in regards to Christianity, is that a lot of the Abrahamic religions just create this type of, fascist church state. Okay? And that's what everybody opposed. That's why people identified with Satanism originally, these pagan and indigenous things. I'm going to go back to the burning Hollywood sign. I don't want to see empty, diversified fire hydrant. Anyway, alright, and I'm going to be reading Malachi 2:17 to 3:6. The messenger of the Lord. You have wearied the Lord with your words, but you say, how have we wearied him by saying everyone who does evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and he delights in them, or by asking, where is the God of justice? Behold, I send my messenger, and he will prepare the way before me, and the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple, and the messenger of the covenant in whom you delight, behold, he is coming, says the Lord of hosts. But who can endure the day of his coming, and who can stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like a fuller's soap. He will sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he will purify the sons of Levi, and refine them like gold and silver, and they will bring offerings in righteousness to the Lord. Then the offering of Judah and Jerusalem will be pleasing to the Lord as in the days of old, and as in former years, and in I, the Lord, then I will draw near to you for judgment. I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, against the adulterers, against those who swear falsely, against those who oppose the hired worker in his wages, the widow, the fatherless, and against those who thrust aside the sojourner, and do not fear me, says the Lord of hosts. He will sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and like silver. Okay, and I don't have the translation that says fire, but that is the example of the fire of purification in the Bible, as foretold. And I need to go somewhere the next time at Barnes & Noble or somewhere and get a proper King James translation of the Bible rather than this crappy English Standard Version, and then actually research all of that and all of that and all of that. Okay, because this is exactly what happens, and you get people arguing over semantics and Tower of Babel because people can't communicate. But what is happening here in Los Angeles is the completely preventable, purifying wrath of God. Okay? Because we are in the book of Revelations, we are in the times of the end, and the end of days, and we're at a change of a cycle. Moving out of the Kali Yuga or into it. I mean, I don't know, but we're at an era of change. Tumultuous time, and Los Angeles, okay, celebrates decadence. Okay? And the definition of the word decadence is the process of becoming decadent, the quality or state of being decadent, the decadence of modern society, or 2, a period of decline. And the word decadent, okay, is characterized by or appealing to self-indulgence, marked by decay or decline. Okay, that is the definition of decadence. Okay, in Los Angeles, okay, you just type in Los Angeles decadence, you get this Google AI, okay, decadence restaurant and bar, a casual dog-friendly restaurant. Now, I've never been there. I'm not trying to offer any type of incentive or anything, but decadence restaurant and bar. Just named right after that. Or Decadence, a night of pleasure and warmth. An event at TBA DTLA in Los Angeles on January 17th. The Sunset Strip, Den of X says, Los Angeles art scene, art cities, why Los Angeles has the right kind of decadence. Okay, decadence, that word, is ingrained in the culture of the city of Los Angeles. And you go, well, why isn't they people preventing this? Okay, California is different. In one of the things is, and people who don't live in a desert climate or California don't realize this, that, you know, water rights and availability of water is a serious issue there. Okay, and it's all rationed and restricted by the leftist, diversified, controlled government. Okay? And it's all controlled. Like the movie Chinatown with Jack Nicholson, which is great movie, by the way. Because that's what I'm obsessed with, is just watching movies. I watch movies all the time. But, Roman Polanski's Chinatown. That was, you know, water was a key component of the plot in that movie. All right. But, you know, water rights and water rights among the state's most divisive political issues due to a lack of a reliable dry season rainfall. Water is limited in the most populous U.S. state. Okay, and then they divvy up the distribution, and water is controlled there. And that's why, you know, they don't have any water in the fire hydrants, because they just got rid of all their budget. In the name of diversity, they wanted to close a bunch of fire stations, and now it's just a complete fucking disaster. I think it's, how many days now? And it's like 0% contained. Like Breitbart's headline, I remember that was just 0% contained. And the winds are so bad they can't do drones and planes and stuff. And if this wildfire is burning still with zero signs of stopping by the 20th, when Trump is inaugurated, Joe Biden will have literally left the house on fire. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know, and a lot of this obviously is, you know, their climate change, you know, war on that to camouflage them just pumping crap in the atmosphere. Okay. But that's not where that doesn't fully define what I'm getting at. But this is the wrath of God. Okay. Wrath of God. Fire purification. Okay, now if you look at the history of Los Angeles, the history of Los Angeles began in 1781 when 44 settlers from central New Spain, modern Mexico, established a permanent settlement in what is now downtown Los Angeles. New Spain. The Mexicans. Okay? And then now it's white people, but it was the Mexicans. Okay? The same colonizers. Okay? But what I wanted to talk about was the indigenous people. Okay, by 3000 BCE, the area was occupied by the Hokan-speaking people of the Milling Stone period who fished, hunted sea mammals, and gathered wild seeds. They were later replaced by migrants, possibly fleeing the drought in the Great Basin, who spoke an Udo-Aztecian language called Tongva. And the Tongva people called the Los Angeles region Ya. Okay, now the Tongva were basically what are considered the indigenous people of the Los Angeles area. Okay, and they worshipped a deity known as Chinchinics. But then this is before they were Christianized by colonized by Spanish missionaries. See how the church has to impose its will, and this is the problem, is that people weren't allowed to just have their native cultures and all of that, and then you have to submit to the church, and if it's an Islamic state, you either have to conform to Islam or tithe and pay tribute. When in reality, everybody is all worshiping the same thing, they just have different names for it in different traditions, but because it's not exactly the same to a conforming nature, okay, the church had a problem with it, and then you get the church that reigns over everything that's corrupt and doing pedo stuff and everything. Okay? That's how all that works. And by the way, all those fuckheads or whatever that are making all this unblack metal or whatever, you're glorifying that. Okay? You're glorifying the very thing that black metal was founded out of a resistance to, and you still go and do all of that. Because you have no concept of reality. Or, more accurately, you just want attention. Okay? Anyway, Tongva mythology. In Tongva mythology, fire is considered a powerful and essential element, often seen as a gift from the gods that allowed them to manage and cultivate their land by using controlled fires to encourage the growth of beneficial plants like oak trees, while also creating open areas for hunting and gathering acorns. Okay? Okay, and again, fire purification in the Bible. There's a bunch of them. He will be like a refiner's fire and a launderer's soap. He will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and silver. Okay, that was again, again, that was the fire purification. Even if my translation was not 100% accurate, because I don't have the right translation of the Bible. Okay. Everything that can endure fire, you shall put through the fire, and it shall be clean. But all that cannot endure fire, you shall put through water. Which means you will wash it away, and it will be done with, because it cannot survive the fire, the purifying fire of the Lord. Okay? In another life, I could have been a preacher. In another life, I probably was a preacher. I was probably a good preacher, too. But I'm mixed up in this now. Anyway, but there's one thing now. Again, this is from Laurel Canyon, which is an area in Los Angeles, and this is all about Tongva mythology. Okay, dancing, myths of other gods, and then this is again more on the indigenous people of Los Angeles. Okay, dancing and singing, said the Tongva people. The gods created the mountains and the canyons, the deer and the geese, the oaks and the laurels, the willow and the marsh reeds, bent into dome shelters, piloted into baskets. Okay, so they've created this area by the gods. Okay, this is Los Angeles. This is the indigenous people believing their area was created by God. Okay, which is exactly what happened, because the Creator made the earth. We have all these areas, and this is what the people there believed. Okay, to improve this world of canyon and valley, the gods gave the Tongva mastery of fire. Their deliberate fires cultivated the oak trees, killed the seedlings of competing trees, and opened the ground for hunting and for gathering acorns near the stream that cut through the Laurel Canyon. Okay, deliberate, controlled fires, controlled burning, all that, because you have to manage the fucking forests, which they're not doing because of the environmentalism. The ancient people knew that if you didn't cultivate the fucking forests and shit. They set on fire. And they must tame the earth. That's what man does. It's top of the food chain. Top of the food chain, tame the earth. You have mastery over the earth. And then you get the fucking transhumanists that want to transcend all that and go beyond that. Because the earth and shit isn't enough for them. The Tongva and the fire completed the work of the gods because the gods had made the hot, dry winds to stroke the flames in the flue-like canyon. The Tongva and the fire completed the work of the gods because the gods had made the hot, dry winds to stoke the flames in the flue-like canyon. They had made the seed heads of its native flowers to burst only after the flames had touched them, sowing another season of growth. They had made their charcoal on the canyon hillsides to live by burning. From time to time, the Tongva burned their willows and reed shelters at the mouth of the Laurel Canyon and piloted new shelters, which means created. In their season, Tongva boys became men, hallucinating on a decoction of the jimson weed that grew in the wild there. Okay. Girls became women, dancing and singing in their circle in turn. In wet years, hunters pushed off in reed canoes to cross the marshy Siniglass to hunt and trap. In the drought years, the famished dead were burned with what little they had. Afterwards, the dead were said to become stars. Because when you died, your body died. You were famished and your body died. Your spirit went to the sky to be with the Creator or to come back. And you go around and around and around again. If you have proper character and moral integrity, you eventually escape from this and just be one with the Creator. Okay, that's what they mean by the dead becoming stars. And then the body, the physical body, returned to the earth. Okay? Okay? That's what happened, okay? But modern Los Angeles, which was colonized by the colonizers from Spain, came in, they colonized Mexico, they did all that, okay? Then they moved forward. This is before the Pilgrims came. This is before California became a state. Because, okay, they were colonized, or whatever. And then you have on the other side of the country, you know, the British and all that, you know, the creation of America. Then you had slavery. Slavery was ended, over with, and then California became state. And then we have modern-day Los Angeles that's going to pay reparations for shit they weren't even a part of. Okay? All because the governor wants to just signal. Okay? And failed, woke, DEI, all that crap. Okay? And all of this fire, is just the purifying wrath of God. And then the cycle begins anew. Again. Alright? That's what happens. That's that. Nothing to debate about. Nothing to fucking... It's just... It happens. Because Los Angeles just became decadent and had decadent character. And in a perfect world, there's karmic retribution for that. That's that. So I'm gonna play indigenous black metal at into the segment to promote all that. Maybe if I talk about it on the podcast and actually talk about indigenous topics, maybe people will buy all of the indigenous stuff that I have, all of the Elapa records and all the Blood Division records and everything. It just sits in the storage unit.